Call the meeting to order at 7:35. Today's date is July 23rd, 2025. First time on the agenda this evening is Peter Frischetti, 106 Seymour Road. Mr. Frischetti's mother is in the hospital, so we asked if we can bump this till our next meeting. So therefore, we'll open the public hearing because that's what we need to do for this evening, and then we'll just continue it until our September meeting. And hopefully by then, something will be done there that isn't done yet. So basically, the public hearing is open. It's going to be continued until our regular September meeting, at which time we'll continue with, and hopefully everyone who needs to be here will be here at that point. So, next item on the agenda, Mr. Rivera, 230 Seymour Road, notification regarding as of right, request for activity within a wetland area. Do you want to come up and say anything, please?
Sure.
We did get your letter basically that outlines the reasons for it being as of right. But if you want to just sort of briefly describe it, then we'll talk about it some.
Sure. I'm not sure how this works. Just talk.
Oh yeah, just talk. Yeah, we're very informal, so yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna speak to it very casually. I did make some bullets on my phone. So as background, I'm Antonio Rivera. I've been an engineer at Sikorsky for 8 years. I work in the aerodynamics group there, so we design the blades and the outside OML of the aircraft so they're efficient. I bought 230 Seymour maybe a couple of months back. It's an old agricultural property. It's been abandoned since the 30s. It has old apple trees that are at least 100 years old. It has chestnut trees, old barn foundations made out of stone, and farm roads that crisscross the entire property. The reason why I became interested in the property is because I've been trying to establish a cider apple and pear orchard for a long time. This property does meet the minimum 10-acre lot size specified in the Woodbridge town laws. It was very affordable, which was very important to me, precisely because of the access. The access, luckily enough, there are some Connecticut laws that enable farming operations to work with these access issues. I will say that cider and perry, they are a part of the cultural identity of this area, and it has been lost for a variety of reasons. But I'm not trying to do some random thing. This historically was hard cider and perry country. It was just lost, and we've been flooded with beer, and everybody thinks cider in the Northeast, but it just isn't here anymore. And there are reasons for that, but I won't delve into that. But it's important to state that this is culturally relevant to the area. At the state level, I think that the state has recognized that there is value in farming and agriculture, and for that reason, there are certain agricultural exemptions at Section 22A-44 of the CT General Statutes. There's actually some wording that speaks to old farm roads. And it's important to state that I'm not proposing a new road or anything like that. This road is there. I walk it every day after I work at Sikorsky to get into the orchard. All I'm saying is that it would be nice to be able to restore it somewhat, but this road must be at least 100 years old and was used at least in the 1930s in the aerial survey that was done at the state level. And then when the road has been abandoned for at least 80 years, so it would be nice to restore it to some degree. I will say that I have not been doing doing anything by myself in the property. I have involved CT Deep. Actually, their forester visited and walked the entire property with me and inspected it for at least 4 or 5 hours. I think that I forwarded the report that I was given. Sadly, the wetlands area, because it was disturbed and there were old barns there and essentially an agricultural operation, the part of the property that was disturbed for the roads and the barns is actually infested with Rosa multiflora and Japanese knotweed, which I have been trying to control these past couple of months. But there's really no native species of value. And that's in that deep report. And then finally, I will say that as part of the hard cider thing, I did take part in the New Haven City Seed Farmers Market Incubator for the 2025 year. I actually didn't think I was gonna end up being able to purchase an orchard, but I was spurred to do that because this was essentially almost impossible to get, which was 14 acres for an accessible price, and because of the state statute exemptions, it made this thing possible. So I think that's pretty much all I've got to say. It's a long story, but I don't want to. I think I've said enough. If there's any questions or anything, I'm happy to answer.
Do the trees actually produce fruit?
Yeah. So the trees are very, very old, which is good for hard cider. They do not produce tons of fruit, but the fruit they produce is very high quality.
Lots of sugar.
Lots of high sugar, low water
Okay.
content. Exactly. Yes. Actually, I want to send some of the. I want to send samples to. I believe there's a university that identifies the varieties that are put down just to see what's there. Because honestly, I don't know, but it's some sort of russet, which is a rare variety and common in the Northeast historically.
So basically, other than either expanding the orchard area or cleaning that up, the focus really is on the road and the access to get to the
Right.
property at this point.
Yeah.
What do you plan to do to that? I see a little sketch in here. Is that what you're proposing? To add some, mineral and rock soil to make it more stable, basically?
So it's actually very stable right now. It's incredible that after 80 years, the road is still there. In that report that I sent, the red lines are literally just where the old road was. Now there are certain parts of the road where it would be beneficial to do what Deep recommended, which was to take off some of that organic material on the top, put some geotextile and a bit of rock just where the road is already, so that it's easier to access on a truck or something like that. And really the reason why this is important is not because of right now, because the actual orchard, the trees I've been putting down won't be ready to bear fruit until 8 years. But in 8 years, it would be nice to be able to go in with a truck and be able to press the fruit and take it out somewhat easily. But there's no rush to do this right now. The trees need a long time to take off.
Can a vehicle get in there now, or can you only go in there by foot?
You could get in there with a Jeep, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Chris, are you familiar with it? Have you been out there at all or seen it?
I haven't been
Yeah,
in there
okay.
and up there. I've heard stories that, at one point there was a cabin or a house up there, and when you look at the geo maps, you can see there was an existing driveway that hugged the eastern side, is eastern side, going up, because once you get across the wetlands, the site is all upland and literally up a hill. And so hugging one side of this hill is this old driveway that went up.
And I will say that it being hilly is highly beneficial for an orchard that needs good drainage.
Yeah.
So it's sort of perfect for the type of farming that I would like to do.
Yeah, well, we've passed on farming issues before and, agreed there as of right. So I mean, personally, I don't have any issue with what you're thinking about doing, but let's hear from anybody else.
The only question I would have would be the entrance off of Seymour Road. Is that okay, or does something need to be done?
I haven't been in on the site at all.
That would be the only.
Well, there's not enough vegetation to be a problem. You've cleared some vegetation from around the edge of the road where you park your car and the tractor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And
but it's not on a curve, well, everything's on a curve on Seymour Road. It's somewhat opposite the Bethany Flower, what is it called?
Farm.
Bethany Farm?
Farm, yeah.
Nursery, yeah, so. And there's a driveway, 2 driveways there too, in that stretch.
yeah,
And
the
you don't
entrance.
have plans to build anything or excavate anything other than the tree spaces, yeah, but there's, okay, interesting.
No, I mean,
Do you have to use heavier equipment than the tractor that's there now to do the work?
the tractor is there essentially to do some of the heavy lifting. As far as building anything other than the road, I mean, I don't have any plans for that, but in 8 years, once I'm getting a heavy crop of cider fruit, I could see reusing some of the stone foundation of, because there were 3 barns there. There were 3 barns, and the stone foundations are still there. So I wouldn't be opposed to reusing that to actually press the fruit and produce the cider, but other than that,
That's 8 years away probably, so, right?
Yeah.
long time away, yeah.
I won't be here then, so. All right, anybody else? Steven?
Yeah. Just procedurally, so, I think the agricultural use, ought to be applauded and supported. But just a couple of academic points about, I have some experience with this from my prior commission work. Agricultural exemptions are not blanket exemptions where you can conduct any activity in a wetland. There are exemptions from the exemption that farming enjoys as an activity in the wetlands. And one of the things that one cannot do in the wetlands, even if it is connected with a farming activity, is one cannot fill a wetland without a permit. So one may farm in a wetland in an upland review area, but one may not fill, one may not excavate, and things like that. So just to kind of educate ourselves on what it is to be dealing with with farming and wetlands, and the exemption is, it's not a blanket exemption. So there are limitations on the exemption for farming activities in a wetland area. So I just wanted to state that. And the second point I wanted to make is the area that that appears to have been disturbed. I haven't walked the property, but I pass it, daily or so. I paid attention to it. There's been a lot of clearing activity at the front of the property at Seymour Road, and that area is identified by our GIS, our wetland maps, as having wetland soils. So that area that needs to be traversed to get to the rear 12 or 14 acres appears to require a wetland crossing. Now, I was a little upset with this matter because there appeared to be activities on the property before we could conclude which must be concluded before there can be farming activities, that they are indeed farming activities and fall within the exemption. So our commission's a little behind the eight ball here insofar as the burden is actually on the applicant before any activities begin to put on evidence that there's going to be a farming activity there and what the extent of it is. And then we decide, the commission decides whether the use will enjoy the exemption from wetland regulation for farming activities. So really nothing should have been going on there during this time until it came to the commission, and the commission had a chance to determine, based upon the evidence, that indeed there's a bona fide farming operation going on there. So that procedural anomaly is something I hope that we could avoid going forward. And going back to the point I made about an exemption from the exemption of the wetland regulations for farming activities is there's no excavating in wetlands or the upland review area without commission review. So one can farm that area, but other activities are precluded without a permit. And I'm mentioning that because I wonder what has gone on there at the entrance to the property from Seymour Road, because that area that one can see from the road appears in its entirety to be wetlands. I saw a lot of cutting. I don't know where that debris, where the debris went, the stumps and the tree matter and all of that, if that went into the ground that could constitute fill. I just don't know, because I haven't walked the property, but I'm mostly just kind of issue spotting for us as we consider this application. So if that road, that historical road that's been alluded to, does require filling of a wetland, then I think that may be that may require a permit from this condition. It may not be hard to get, but the law is the law. So I hope I think I've informed a little bit about what I think the state of the law is on this. I see there's some reference to a Supreme Court case, and without reading it, I'm not prepared to accept it as the gospel. I do not know if that involved filling in the wetlands, building a road, without filling is, maybe two separate activities. So, so what's my point ultimately is I'd like to site inspect the property to see what, not only just to educate myself on what we're talking about, so I can see how the plan is coordinated and figure out how, what actually would be required for that road access if that's going to require fill to be brought in. Have you, when you said you could get there with a Jeep, I assume you're also alluding generally to a four-wheel drive vehicle. Why would one need a four-wheel drive vehicle to gain access to the rear of the property, the hilly part?
Because it's bumpy as hell. It's been abandoned for 80 years. The road is there, but there's actual, like, water to the right and the left.
That's right. Our GIS maps show that there's streams that actually are running
So there's
east and west while the road runs north and south.
so Black Brook.
That's what it is, yes.
So essentially, there's Black Brook that comes off of the large pond, and there's an old farm channel that takes Black Brook down to the Bladens River. It's still there. But yeah, you'd probably need a Jeep just because it's been abandoned for 80 years. I will say, I have added no fill. This is a one-man team. I don't have a team of people working for me. It's me. Like after work, I go there and I put down the trees. Like there's no one else. There has been no material taken anywhere. It's all at the entrance. The reason why it looks like there has been no... The reason why it looks like the material was taken elsewhere, which I understand what you're saying, is because everything that was there was Rosa multiflora, which is this invasive from Asia, and when you throw it on the heap, you know, it dries out and it, you know, turns into a pile that, but, yeah, there's like a 50-page report that Deep did, and, all that area was just, is still infested with knotweed and, Rosa multiflora, but anyway, the only thing that has happened there is that I cut in, and I apologize, I actually took me in my ignorant self took some sort of course by like the agricultural extension.
Connecticut Agricultural Station?
Yeah. So they did some type of course, and I actually thought that me as the applicant, like my responsibility was to just like send you folks a letter, or which I think I did in like March or February or something like that before anything started.
Thank you for doing that. I was not aware of that.
So I sent a letter like way before anything
It was the
happened.
end of May, yeah.
Yeah, May, exactly.
That would have triggered this commission's
Yeah.
activity.
A couple of months back, I sent a letter, and I actually, like, I wasn't doing it out of malice. I actually thought that just like sending a letter was like all that was needed, because when I took that briefing, I thought they said was, and again, I'm ignorant in these matters, was that like a landowner can't by themselves declare that they have an exemption. They have to make the Wetlands Agency aware of what they want to do and that they think it is an exemption. And that as long as you do that, it would be fine, but yeah.
That's exactly right, and that's the point I'm making, is you have proceeded quite well. For someone who doesn't swim in these waters, you're having alerted the commission months in advance to some of your activities out there was exactly what you should have done. So, I want to applaud you for acting quite legally in the matter to date. It's up to this commission to have taken some action from May and brought you in. We should have had this discussion months ago rather than this far down the lane. Not that that's consequential, but so I don't have a problem with the project, but I would like to see it. I'd like to see, perhaps you could tell us what how this image of this crosscut of your road is going to work, and we could get some estimate of what kind of fill needs to be introduced, and maybe get a sense of whether you need to file an application, which, I get the sense would not meet a lot of resistance, but we are, we're a legalistic body, and we act on behalf of the citizens of the state of Connecticut and the residents of the town. So, I think we have to behave in a pedagogical manner. So, if you're not in a hurry, would be free to go walk it. Sounds like an interesting and a historical place to be for a short stretch anyways.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. Pretty much any time that I'm not working at Sikorsky, we can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
we can put
that'd be
something
my
up.
that'd be my position on the matter, is before we take action, we should assure ourselves that the activities on this brief proposal do not require filling of the sort that would require a permit in the wetlands, even for a related agricultural use. So now, I'm not just if you're wondering, our own DEEP has provided much guidance on farmland and exemption and whatnot. So I'm referring to our state's guidance on the matter, in addition to my personal experience with these matters. So, yeah, again, I want to compliment you. I'm very impressed with your candid and forward approach to the matter. So, thank you.
Yeah, and just to add to that too, the fact that you've had Deep out there and they produced a report reviewing the area is a lot of comfort too. And I guess from my view, to the extent that you're not pushing dirt around or taking down trees and really just removing invasives, and you don't really need, from what you said, to start filling anything at this point or rebuilding anything, your farming activity, in my mind, is within the exemption at this point. To the extent you're rebuilding the road into the property, that's probably something that has to be reviewed, but,
That's right, thank you.
but other than that, I think what you're doing is well within the exemption at this point. But, Stephen wants to go see it. I'm always curious as to what these things look like too. That's probably the best thing about this job. You get to see parts of town that you never otherwise could be allowed to see. So, to the extent that it's not a burden at this point, since you aren't doing anything that would require more than as of right determination, it probably is worthwhile for whoever wants to go out there at some point to go out there and see it, so, yeah.
We should just note that if you go out, you shouldn't be going out individually. You need to be
Yeah, we
going
probably should
out
just
as
make,
a group.
plus we don't want to burden you with, half a dozen people going out there half a dozen times, so. We usually, well, why don't we decide that now, since everybody, do you want to do it some evening, after work, if we still have sunlight at this point?
Sounds good to me.
Do you have a preference as to what day is better for you during the week, or?
I'm free Fridays. Do like the 9-10 days at Scorsese. So I'm free all Fridays, so anytime would work then, or any day after. From 6 onwards would be fine.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
could we, Mr. Chairman, can we leave it where our enforcement officer can discuss with the applicant a few dates that could be proposed for us to
Sure.
to
Well,
choose?
yeah, but we don't have a meeting until September at this point, so therefore I was just
Oh,
trying to
we're
see
off
if.
in August, okay.
Yeah, I just
right.
wanted to see if we could get something nailed down,
Thank you.
rather than let it stay open. I mean, anytime in the next week or
I
two.
think you and
everybody
David
has-
probably have the most limited schedules.
Pardon me?
I mean, Friday during the day is great for those of us who don't work, but
Yeah.
maybe you two
Yeah,
should
it has
pick
to be
your.
after work. Yeah,
after
that's
work
why I
next
don't want it to
week.
go too late when the sun starts setting
Yeah,
too early,
so
so.
next week, what days for the two of you, and then we'll work around it.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see, next week's
Just
a
get it done.
nightmare.
I don't imagine we'd spend more than 25 minutes
Yeah.
on the property, right?
Especially if there's a lot of multifold
How long
roads.
a walk is it? How long is the road?
Gotta worry about the ticks too.
Well,
Yeah.
the road spans the entire property.
We don't need, once
but
we
if
get
you're
it.
just talking
Right,
about
we won't need
wetlands,
Is it 1,000 feet into the orchard or 100 feet?
the actual road from Seymour is probably like, I don't know.
The wetland crossing is
300.
between what the state property is and what's personally he owns. It's probably around 300 feet where the old road exists.
And that's the interesting part.
Well, and that's the only part
Right,
really,
yeah.
because the orchard is way up,
It's upland,
out of your
yeah.
regulated area.
That's why I think it'd be short.
Dave, any day
Yeah,
book?
actually, next week looks, good 6 after.
Okay,
I'm just out of town between July 30th and August 7th.
okay. Excuse me.
So Monday or Tuesday?
Of this coming week?
Yeah. Or the
Yeah.
following week, maybe. August 3rd, or?
Yeah, I've got terrible things going on.
I guess I'll mention it again. Maybe is this something that Chris and the applicant can discuss in the next day or two, and we could select a date? Or if you're making headway.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do it Monday evening after work.
Fine with me.
The 29th, is
Yeah,
it?
that's fine.
This coming Monday?
And you won't be gone yet, right? All right, okay.
That's the
That'd be
28th.
That'd be the
isn't it?
28th, yeah.
Oh, 28th, yeah, 28th, yeah. Sorry,
After 6.
yeah.
You got Josh, you got a cooking class in Ithaca that weekend? That week?
No, I have a show in Westport.
Oh, okay. All right, let's see.
But I mean, I'm hardly critical to this. We don't all have to be there. I trust you.
Do you want to be there, though, or do you want to cut your
You
lawn?
want to see it? Cider Farm?
There's also.
That's tomorrow
not a lot of
morning I have to
parking.
finish.
Yeah, I know, that's true, yeah.
So
Yeah.
is 7/28 Monday the preliminary date?
Yeah, if we could do that, because the rest of the week I can't do any night.
At 6.
At 6, yeah.
6, okay.
Is that okay with you? All right. And not all of us necessarily will be there, but I am kind of curious, even though I support it. So anyway, so
Very
is that
good.
it for the, okay. And what will probably happen is we won't need you to have to come back in September when we make it, I mean, we're not holding you up with anything, and you know, you can continue to plant your trees and drive on the existing road and that kind of thing, until we make the determination, but we kind of, there's enough curiosity to, for us to take a look at it, so, okay?
Yeah. For reference, the only driver right now is on the north western part of the property. There's a sand beach that Deep identified, and it's been obliterated with beach leaf disease. So those trees are dying. And as sad as it is, it's also an opportunity just to take them out of there and turn that area in particular into like a hard cider perry type stand. So in the winter, maybe take some of those down and haul them out the road is the only thing. And it's on the.
Was it up in the hills,
Or
or is it down low on the west side?
it's a mix. It's not. Some of them are high on the hill, and some of them are on the more flatter parts of the property. But it's on that northwestern side of the property.
Okay,
Yeah.
right up towards the road area
Yeah.
near the wetland.
Actually,
No,
no. It's like
no.
very far away from the wetland.
It's
Right, but you said the northwest, and that's kind of where I'm thinking is, where the driveway access is.
No, that's northeast.
Oh, so I don't know how far the property goes on
The-
both sides of the
The
driveway.
road is at the far eastern side of the property.
Very good.
Yeah.
We'll see that, I guess, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so the property is actually 14 acres, but the actual wetlands part is only like 0.3, 0.4 acres. And this beach stand is as far away as possible, and it's already dying, so it's an opportunity to establish it, with an orchard. But yeah, I'm happy that we scheduled something. I think
Okay.
it'll work out for everyone.
Very good.
All right, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. All right, next item on the agenda.
Take good care.
Any correspondence or anything we need to talk about, Chris?
I gave you two very
Oh,
brief
yeah,
notes
yeah.
that we got regarding servicing of ponds that have gotten permits from the state of Connecticut.
Yeah.
And I
those
always
we-
get mystified by the 39 Round Hill Road address because that's Mr. Electronica's property, and there aren't any ponds up there. I think it's the pond, he has a pond on the property across the road, which is in Bethany for his stock cattle. And I think it's that pond, but the address, their home address is,
And the process on these, they just have to notify us,
they
right?
just notify
Yeah,
us,
it's
yeah.
not,
Yeah, I mean, they get a permit from DEEP
DEEP,
and then they
yeah.
notify us.
Okay. Any enforcement officer stuff that we have,
I gave you pictures, I went out today, and, while there's been more plantings at 106, they were around the house. There was nothing that's yet been done in that upland area, but Mr. Forchetti was gonna be here, except that he had the medical emergency with his family. And he will definitely be here at your next regular meeting. He made a point of saying he will be here,
otherwise, well, let's see what happens next time.
yeah. One of the pictures I did take did include, what's this one? This one is that lower pond, and it's, at this point, pretty well fully vegetated with some burr reed, and some other things, so it's there.
Okay. All right, to be continued.
To be continued.
Site visits, we just talked about. Approval of minutes. So we have minutes of June 18th meeting. Jean?
Yeah, just a couple of typos, like my name is spelled wrong.
Welcome back. Whose name is spelled wrong?
Mine,
Oh, did I put one B in, or two?
no, Jean.
Oh, I didn't add the end, oh, I'm sorry.
No, I don't have any,
Okay,
yeah, I know I could never get Jerry to correct it on the other records.
So what should I be?
Jerry Shaw.
So there's no NE?
No any, just
Okay.
4 little letters, yeah.
I'm just trying to make you sound more exotic. I don't know.
First time hearing
You know, I've got Henri and now I've got Jenny.
And then the last bullet on the first page has the word "the."
Yeah, isn't it?
I thought that,
No, it shouldn't be there.
I think Enter got hit.
that's all,
Yeah,
that's
sounds
all I
like we-
found.
That's all you found?
That's all I found, yeah. And the ones from when I was away are good too.
Good.
Yep.
Wow.
All right, well then, do we have a motion to approve the minutes with those 2 corrections?
Oh, so moved.
Jack moved. Second.
I'll second.
Stephen seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Anything else we need to talk about?
Nope, you have no meeting in
August.
August. I will send you notice for your site walk.
Okay.
And I guess that's it.
That's it, yeah. All
And
right.
then I did send you out, or forward you all the information that Kathy Hunter had sent out from the Housing Committee.
Mhm.
They're just trying to help provide as much information as they can, so.
Okay.
And most of the things that they've done have been recorded, so that if you don't get a chance to watch it in real time, you can go to their YouTube channel,
Okay.
and you can see, you know, the recording of it. It's actually pretty neat. I mean, they do an excellent job of putting everything up, so.
Mhm. Okay. Anything else, folks? Okay, do we have a motion to, do you have something, Gene? Oh, okay.
I'm good.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Stephen moved. We have a second?
I'll second.
Dave seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, 8:12, we're done. Thank you, everyone.